Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is going to be a lifestyle video, and it is going to be my introduction video or my first installment of my infertility series. And I have been trying to think or to put a video like this. No, sorry, that is a gardener out there, and I wanted to sit down already this whole morning and film, and this person has been constantly going on and off with his leaf blower thing, and I really hope that I'm just going to be able to film. Anyway, sorry. All right, so I want to actually talk about infertility because it has been such a huge topic in my life, and believe it or not, because I'm sure a lot of people will now say, what is that woman talking about? She has 7 children. Why does she even dare to open her mouth about infertility? But let me tell you that I actually, a year after we got married, my husband and I got diagnosed with primary infertility, and that influenced my whole life up until now. And actually 6 out of my 7 kids we did not have naturally. So that is why I am able to open my mouth and talk about this topic, because I actually have a lot of first-hand experience with that topic, and a lot of heartache, and a lot of crying about that topic. So yeah, so that is what we're going to talk about today, or we start talking about it today. And I hope that this will be beneficial, because actually, you know, after I got over the initial thing of why is this happening to me, I actually noticed that God has placed so many people in my path who were who were affected by infertility, and it sort of felt like they're suddenly popping out of the walls, and suddenly they're all there, and everybody has this, and then I suddenly felt, this is why I had it, so I can go and help other people, or at least, you know, maybe not help, but just be like a support or a confidant or something like this. So I have been trying to get a video like this together, or to start off this series, for the longest time, for months. I have been thinking about this. First of all, I wanted to do like a get ready with me style, but honestly, I have the hardest time at the moment to do makeup and talk at the same time. It is very hard for me, even a tutorial kind of situation where I just have to say what I'm doing. It is right now, for some reason, it is very hard for me to concentrate on 2 things at the same time. So that's why I decided to just do it a pure lifestyle video, which is also going to be better for people who decide not to watch this, you know, because if you're triggered by a topic like this, then please don't watch. And I'm also going to put those videos, I'm going to clearly label them as infertility series or something like this, so people who do not want to see this or hear about this, because it's a very private and very personal thing, and it's of course medical issues and things like this that will come up, then please just don't click on those videos, okay? And I'll put them, I think I'm going to do like a playlist with those videos too, for those people who are interested and who want to make sure that they don't miss any of the installments. I don't know how many there are going to be. I thought initially I'm going to do like 1 video per pregnancy that I had, but I'll see. I really don't know. We'll see how it goes and how it flows. Okay, so yeah, so let's maybe just start out by putting like right there the definition for infertility. So this was, what is this? This is Wikipedia. All right, so it says here, infertility is the inability of a person, animal or plant to reproduce by natural means. It is usually not the natural state of a healthy adult, except notably among certain eusocial species. In humans, infertility is the inability to become pregnant after 1 year of intercourse without contraception involving a male and female partner. And it goes on, but I think, so this is the main thing. So as I told you, I went straight into primary infertility, and I don't think a lot of people make a distinction between normal infertility, primary infertility, secondary infertility. I was diagnosed with all of those above. Okay, so primary infertility is basically the case when you don't get pregnant from the get-go. You don't get pregnant. And there's also the secondary infertility where, I don't know, maybe you know people who had one child and then they just stop having children and it just doesn't work anymore and there's no more offspring. That is secondary infertility. They were able to have one living child, surviving child, whatever, or yeah, a successful pregnancy with a living child, and then they stop conceiving, and that is secondary infertility. So I had all of that for some reason. Anyway, and that is so weird because I come from a very fertile stock. Like my mom was super, super fertile. She always, her only fear during her whole married life till my father died, like no, till they were too old to have children, she was always worried that she would get pregnant. And my brother, who is 2 years older than I, and myself, we were absolutely not planned. And for her, it was back then, it was the last thing that she wanted was more children. And actually, you know what, maybe I should throw this in. Maybe I should throw this in. Let me just go off on a tangent a little bit and tell you a little bit about how I was conceived. Okay, so I'm the fifth child. My mom was 39 when she conceived me. My father was 49. So that is basically, she was my age when she had me, and my father was 10 years older. So, and they didn't plan on having me at all. My mom actually thought that she was reaching menopause, and that's why her period didn't come and things like this. So then she went to the doctor, and back then, and I don't know how this is even possible, but without checking if she was pregnant, the doctors assumed that she was just irregular because of menopause slowly approaching or something like that, and he gave her an injection to make her period come on. And I, my little tiny little self that was, you know, growing in her uterus, I fought this. For some reason I was strong enough to fight this, and she did not get her period. And then when she, after 2 weeks or something like this, she had to go back to the doctor, and he then said, okay, so you're pregnant. And then without saying anything else, he filled out a form and pushed it over the desk towards my mom. And my mom looked at it, and like her jaw dropped, and she saw it was the referral for an abortion. So that was how my life started. It was fighting for my life, and it was the verdict that I shouldn't live, and that that I basically have this certificate, and I have it till today, that I was supposed to be aborted. So the reason for that doctor saying that, or assuming that my mom wanted an abortion, was because my mom was basically 40 and my father was basically 50, and they assumed that, you know, children have a very, very high risk, or a much, much higher risk of being abnormal, you know, when you conceive them in later years. Gardener, I'm telling you, this is not funny. I hope this is not interfering in the video. I'm so sorry, but what can I do? I have to film when I have to film, because I have my 7 kids waiting for me. They want to go to the playground. So anyway, I have to film now. All right. We have to just make a conscious effort to forgive that gardener out there. All right. So anyway, that was the start into my life, you know. And my mom, she keeps telling me every time she sees me, and sometimes she even comments under my videos about that, where she says, I cannot believe what a burden of guilt and sin I would have put on myself if I would have agreed to that abortion. Because God would show me now what he wanted to do with you, where he wanted to take you, and the influence that you would be to other women in the whole world. And I actually do have followers on maybe not all continents, but really people have written to me from all over the place who are telling me. One in Australia wrote to me, and I don't know if you're watching, but hi. She says that, I think, I don't know, because of the time difference, something like when I get up or when I come back home from work or something, and it's so nice that I see you just uploaded and whatever. So it's really, really nice. Anyway, so my mom said, I cannot believe how guilty I would be if I would have if I would have agreed to that abortion. And she took that slip of paper, that referral, home, showed it to my dad, and they knew immediately, yes, it would be hard, and this was not the plan to have me at that late age and whatever, and also their financial situation was never really good and whatever. So but they said there is no way we're gonna abort that child. No way, no matter what. If it's sick or not, we're gonna have that child. We're supposed to have that child. So they had me, and I'm so thankful they did. I think the gardener has moved on for now. Okay. Okay, so maybe let's just go into then me being grown up. Okay, no, actually, you know what? I'm a teenager now. Okay, I must have been something like 13, 14, 15, and of course, like every teenager, I voiced my opinions on stuff that I have no idea about and I really should not comment on. You know, I told everybody I don't want to have kids. It's too much trouble. Because I also knew only mothers who totally gave up themselves as soon as they had kids. They stopped shopping for themselves, they stopped putting makeup on, they stopped caring for themselves. It was all about the kids, and I never wanted to be like this, ever. I don't want to put judgment on people who are struggling and really have other problems than putting on makeup or looking nice or whatever, you know. I think I used to be that way. I used to be very judgmental, but I've grown out of this because I'm older now, you know. I'm older now. I have seen more things happening in the world and also in my surroundings and whatever, and I'm not judgmental. If you are like this, like we're still okay. All right. It's just that for me already back then it was very important to not be like that. So anyway, I grew up, and when did I meet my husband? I think I must have been like something like 21, 22, 23, something like this. Seriously. All right, let me just speak closer to the microphone. Do you hear me? Sorry. We got married when I was 25, which in religious Judaism, that is late, quite late, sort of, you know. But I got married when I was 25, and my husband, he was 45, so he's 21 years older. He turned 46 a week after we got married. This guy is so distracting me, it's really not fair. I'm sorry, I hope this all makes like a tiny little bit of sense for you. It is really a challenge here. I don't know, but I cannot wait. Either I have to just chuck all the footage or... Okay, so we got married, and because of my husband's more advanced age, because he was already 46 almost, we decided to have kids basically right after the honeymoon. After three months after we got married, we went to America to have 3 weeks of honeymoon there, and then we basically decided, okay, so from now on we're gonna try to have children. So it didn't work. And for the first couple of months, we didn't get worried anything. Actually, my husband didn't get worried at all, which I absolutely never understood. But so I thought I would just, you know, after 2 months find out that I'm pregnant, because that's how it was for my mom. She was always pregnant, and she had 5 kids. Yes, it's like not super huge, but back then for her life, it was. She was the only one with so many kids. And anyway, so I thought it would be super easy, and if I have any problem, then it would be the problem that I would have to try to prevent getting pregnant all the time. That's what I thought. So that was wrong. That was absolutely wrong. 13 months after we got married, I finally went to get myself checked out. And then the doctor took all kinds of tests and whatever and sent in stuff for, how do you say that? I don't know how to say that. He sent in stuff for examination, and then we had to wait for the results and whatever. So a week after that, or 2 weeks after that, he called me and he said I should come in. He needs to talk to me. So I went in after work and spoke to him, and he told me, sorry, Leorah, but you're not gonna have children. And I was floored. I was like, what? How? Why? Like, how can that be? Where does it come from suddenly, you know? So he said for those and those reasons, I don't want to get into this because it is really too private, but he said for those and those reasons, you are not going to have children. We can try to help you, but it doesn't look good. So, and that's how he left me. And I then called my husband and asked him to pick me up from the doctor and drive me home. And I cried for 2 days because I was in total disbelief. I could not understand what was happening. And actually, and then after like just crying my heart out and also crying on the phone to my parents and just crying and just letting all the pain go through me. And back then I was still smart enough to do that. Yeah, but I went into research. And I think a lot of people do that when after they have overcome the first stage of mourning, they go into the fighting mode. And I sat down with a notepad and just wrote down everything that I could find on the internet and contacts and whatever, and tried to get help. And that's what I did. And within weeks after that first initial appointment where the doctor told me that I'm not going to be able to have children, we were sitting at the doctor's office for our first consultation in a fertility clinic. And in Israel, it is actually amazing because in Israel, every Israeli citizen who has a normal healthcare provider is entitled to 2 live children. So you will get an amazing sponsorship, does one say that? You get financial help to do fertility treatments up until you have 2 live children. And how many times it takes, whatever, you know. So that is absolutely amazing. So we knew we would get help and we would probably be able to afford it. Of course, you have to pay your share, but it is nothing compared to what you, for example, what I know you pay in Europe for fertility treatments. So yeah, so this is where we went to our first consultation, and the doctor had not the best bedside manners. He accompanied us through all those years of fertility treatment, and we actually grew to like him. And during all those years, he grew from being a doctor to being a professor. And it was actually amazing to have this journey together from like the first consultation till our last child was born. But so he was not the nicest at the beginning. For example, he told me, the first thing he told me was, Leorah, you have to lose weight. You should be half of what you are. I was like, wow. I thought I'm going to go here and I'm going to get a baby presented on a silver plate to me, you know. Of course, that's not the case. And I actually did not manage to lose weight till I was pregnant with my 4th child, really. That's maybe not 100% true, but I'll go into this once I'm talking more about the pregnancies themselves and all of that. But anyway, so that was the first thing, because he has a point. For a lot of people, being overweight, and I was seriously overweight, and you can feel free to also check out my weight loss story, and I'm gonna link that playlist here. You can feel free to check that out, because in the first video of that weight loss story, I have pictures of how I used to look, and that was not even my worst time. I was even bigger than that at some point. So anyway, I know that he has a point there, because a lot of those sexual hormones that are supposed to give you your period or have an ovulation and all of that get absorbed by body fat. And that is a problem, because your body can only make up for so much, and then at some point it's sort of like a flat line. Your hormones are not enough to produce the ovulation or whatever you need in order to get pregnant. So yeah, so he told me, you know, you have to do your part. I did not. And that was really a big failure on my side. And maybe I could have become pregnant much more easily and much sooner than I did with a little bit more cooperation. But I was really, really stubborn. I didn't feel like I have to change for anyone. And yeah, so that was that. And I think this video is long enough. I'm going to use this as the introduction for my infertility series. I hope that this whole noise level here there was not too bad. I seriously, that was so annoying. I wanted this to be really special, and I hope it still is. And I'm going to then, you know, in whatever time span, come back and tell you more about how the years went by, and about the pregnancies, and about what we had to do to get pregnant, and all of that till we reach our last child, which we actually conceived naturally. So yeah, I hope this this topic is interesting for you, and that you will enjoy the series, and that you enjoyed this video. It is also to just get to know me a little bit more, maybe, which is also nice, even if you maybe do not struggle with infertility issues or things like this. So I'm just here, I want to share, and I want to really, from all of my heart, help people and reach out who deal with this and who suffer from this. And I know for sure that there's at least one person, because she has written that to me either in a DM or on a comment, that she is really, she's about my age, I think, if I remember that right, and she is so yearning to become a mother. And I know that you are there, and this is actually what triggered me, and I know that was months ago that you wrote that to me, that was triggered, you know, that triggered this whole thing for me to come on and talk about this. So if you like this, then please give the video a like, and come back for my next infertility video, and also of course for my other videos. And yeah, and if you're new here, then please subscribe to my channel. And besides that, I just hope that this is going to be for a blessing for a lot of people. I don't want anyone to be hurt by this or affected by this in a negative way. Please make sure that you don't watch those videos if you have issues with watching these kinds of videos, okay? I'm fine with that. If my views go down because of that, it is totally fine. I totally, you know, I understand. So, and besides that, I'm happy to have you here, and I'll see you here next time for my next video. And up until then, go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.